Hi guys, Ado here, Social Care Manager, Homeless Services Crosscare, member of the Social Care Workers Board at Carew, and a member of the Consultative Forum for Former Residents in Mother and Baby Homes and Allied Institutions. How you all doing? Happy New Year. This is my first little vlog back since the new year. I hope the new year has started off the way that you wanted to continue. Today I am talking about students. It is student time all over the country. Colleges are now preparing for their students to go out on placement, social care students to go out on placement into all our services, and I think it's worthwhile just having a little chat about it. It's a fairly serious task for us to take on in social care professionals, frontline professionals. There's a huge responsibility attached to taking on a student. There's not necessarily a huge amount of work, but there's a lot of responsibility. We are taking young people in on placements whereby they are green behind the gills. They need all our support. They need time and space to try and link the theory that they learn in college with the frontline practice. And also, like all of us, they need to learn how to manage themselves and in their feelings and their emotions, and what working in services does for them and what that brings up, and how do they create boundaries and all of that sort of stuff. And the first place that starts with is with the student supervisor. And you know, if you're a leader in a service or a manager or a director of services or whatever you might be, the responsibility on us is to pick good people to be our student supervisors, and to make sure that they have some supervision training, and to make sure indeed that they have good supervisors themselves, and that when they're in role that they are mirroring good, solid professional behaviour for the students, so the students are seeing great examples of the work that's needed. This year and the last few years with the onset of Carew and professionalisation and registration and all of that, the standards of proficiency are something that's become really, really important. And there's 80 standards over 5 separate domains, and the students are very focused on attaining or seeing how they attain the standards. And a lot of the time, you know, a student will look at our proficiency and will then try and do something to show that they have fulfilled or attained that particular proficiency. What I say to the student supervisors in Crosscare Homeless Services is let the pieces of work happen. You know, let the day-to-day stuff on the floor happen, and then through reflection and guidance, help the students see how the pieces of work that they're already doing, the normal day-to-day stuff, how that is in fact achieving the proficiencies, that the proficiencies are wrapped up within the normal life milieu of a social care worker. And that requires the student supervisor to have a bit of knowledge around what the proficiencies are and what they look like. And there's a great set of e-books out there in relation to the proficiencies. There's I think there's 75 contributors to the e-books, and each of them have written a chapter around each proficiency. So if you can get your hands on them, or if you don't have them, you want them, if you send me an email, I will send them to you. Fantastic. So, you know, over the next 400 hours, starting, you know, sometime towards the end of January, all the way through till April, our services will have students in them that will require a gentle hand, sometimes a firm hand, but always a caring hand and a caring gesture. And remember, one of the things that we work very strongly with in Crosscare is that all of these students are potentially colleagues of the future. And, you know, if they're in their final year, if you're supervising a student in their final year, the day after they finish their student placement, they could be applying for a role in your service. Or if you have any sense at all, when they're finished their placement with you, you'll offer them a role on the relief panel if they've done well enough. So treat the students with kindness, keep them boundaried, look after them well, and we'll have some young social care workers for the future. Talk to you all next week. See you. Bye.